Hello and welcome back to Ask Alan about low carb cocktails. If I've scheduled everything correctly, then tomorrow is May 2nd. And May 2nd this year is supposed to be when the Kentucky Derby is. So if you enjoy the Kentucky Derby and you're going to be watching it, or if not and you just want to enjoy a cocktail, here are 3 cocktails that you can enjoy for the Kentucky Derby. Stay with me as we investigate these 3 cocktails and try to make them with low carbs. Welcome back to Ask Alan about low carb cocktails. Tomorrow is the Kentucky Derby, and just as I did last year, I wanted to do some cocktails that you could make during the Kentucky Derby or just to have. Some of us don't watch the Kentucky Derby, some of us do, but we can all enjoy a good cocktail. So I've picked out 3 different cocktails. One is a bourbon drink. One, I think, was originally a vodka drink, but I switched it to gin because I thought it would taste better. And one is a rum drink. So let's get started making 3 drinks that are targeted for the Kentucky Derby. The first one that we're going to do is called Off Julep. So we will start by muddling mint and berries into a julep cup. And it's supposed to be 3 blackberries, but these are large, so I'm just going to use 2. And some mint. And how much mint does it say? It just says a pinch. Well, I don't know what a pinch is supposed to be with fresh mint, but that's going to do it. So to muddle, I think that you usually want to have some liquid in there, but I think there's going to be enough liquid in the berries. So we'll move back and forth on that. And then we will add 2 ounces of dark rum. And we'll just use Plantation Original Dark. It's a decent one. I have some others that might be better, but this one's an old standby, and this is one that most people would be able to get. Half an ounce of turbinado syrup, and I believe that is a type of sugar, and so I'm going to use this no-calorie brown sugar with cinnamon substitute. And that's a half an ounce. Then we fill with crushed ice. We will just fill this up with crushed ice. And that's a lot of crushed ice without enough liquid in there, but let's see what we can do by stirring that up a little bit. That's a little bit better. And then you garnish that with, so again, it says 3 blackberries, but these are larger ones, so we'll just use 2. And, oh, I left my mint up here. And a bouquet of mint. That's a good enough one for a bouquet. And that is the Off Julep. That's quite good. It does have a lot of ice in there, and that will melt quickly. But there's lots of flavors in there, and I think even with the ice melting, you're going to still have quite a bit of flavor for quite a while. So that's the first one, and that's the Hats Off Julep. So let me get things ready for the next one. The next one is a cucumber julep. That is also made in a julep cup or glass. And in that, we are supposed to use cucumber juice, but instead I'm going to muddle some cucumbers to get about a half an ounce, which will be quite a few cucumbers, I think. So we will just put in a bunch of cucumbers. And we will muddle that. And hopefully that will be a half ounce of, actually it's supposed to be 2 ounces of cucumber juice. Well, we're not going to have 2 ounces of cucumber juice. So instead, we'll just muddle a few more pieces, and that will be it for the cucumber. So with the pulp, it's probably about 2 ounces, but it will be close enough. Then we will put in the rest of the ingredients. 1.5 ounces of gin. Originally this was vodka, but I think that the gin will give it a little bit more of the herbal taste. Half ounce of lime juice. And a half ounce of simple syrup, but since we didn't have as many cucumbers, I might put, and this is diet simple syrup, so I'll put 3/4 of an ounce. And this, I will also use crushed ice. Because I did make quite a bit of it. And that crushed ice will melt faster. And we'll stir that. And we will use mint leaves for garnish. And cucumber slice, but I put all the cucumbers in, so we'll just use the mint as the garnish. And there you have the cucumber julep. That's very good. I don't know if it would be better if it had cucumber juice instead of muddling up the cucumber, but it's definitely very herbal and has a very good taste to it. A bit sweet too. Of course, we used all artificial sweetened things, so there is effectively no carbs in this cocktail as well. So let's move on to the last cocktail, and that will be a chocolate julep. So this drink is made either in a julep cup, and I'm out of the julep glasses that I had, or a cocktail glass. So we'll just use a cocktail glass with this one. And this one uses bourbon, and since it is the Kentucky Derby, I thought I'd use Blanton's because it's the only one that I have that has a horse on it. I don't know if there's any other ones that do, but go ahead and use that. Well, first we want to take of the mint leaves, we want to put some of those into the glass. And it doesn't say to muddle them. So I've got plenty of mint cut, so we'll go ahead and just put the mint in there. 2 ounces of bourbon. And if you have Blanton's, go ahead, just for the horse. Otherwise, I would use just any bourbon. And a quarter ounce of simple syrup. And again, we're using diet simple syrup that I make with Splenda or allulose. And 4 dashes of chocolate bitters. And supposed to fill that with crushed ice. We're going to do the quick stir first. And then top or add some additional mint and sprinkle grated chocolate, but we're not going to do the grated chocolate. If I had some dark chocolate, which has very little carbs, it would be okay. But we're going to just do it like this, and that is the chocolate julep. It's pretty good, and there's plenty of chocolate just with the bitters, so we didn't need the extra. Get that mintiness, you get the bourbon, and you get the chocolate from the bitters, and it's quite a good drink. I don't know how long before that much crushed ice is going to melt down, but as it stands, it tastes pretty good. So those are 3 cocktails that you can make if you're celebrating, or even if you're not, during the Kentucky Derby. I do hope you enjoy these. I hope you get a chance to make them. They're all pretty easy, and definitely check out the description. That's where the recipes will be. Also, look for information about the link to this YouTube channel and the Facebook page. Basically, on the Facebook page, I post each week a link to the videos. I also post different things that over the weeks that I run into that I want to just let people know about. So you'll get a little bit of information there. There's quite a few people that have signed up on the YouTube, on the Facebook, but we need to get more people on YouTube just to hopefully to get the algorithm to push this out to more people and help to broaden the impact of this channel so that more people who need to have lower carbs in their diet can enjoy some great cocktails. So that's it for this week. Come back next week and enjoy your week. Share great times with friends and family, and be safe. Thank you, and see you next time.